Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and welcome to all of the panelists here, and congratulations on your nominations. Many of my colleagues have already asked about data breach, but or privacy issues in general, but I wanted to ask you each whether you thought, given the Equifax issues that we've seen and the 5 weeks that it took to notify the public that the breach had happened, whether you think that we should have more rigorous mandatory or rigorous guidelines on notification for data breach.
Thank you, Senator. I think that's something definitely worth looking at. If confirmed, I would want to talk to the FTC staff about it, get their views, talk to my fellow commissioners, and of course, talk to you and other members of the committee.
But do you think 5 weeks is too long?
I don't have a good basis to reach a conclusion at this point. One of the things that I understand is an issue is sometimes you want to make sure that you know what the breach is about, and hopefully you can fix it before you have to announce it. So sometimes it depends on the facts of the case and whether the breach notification is more appropriate sooner or later. But just as a general matter. But in terms of the notification itself and potential legislation, that's something I would definitely be interested in.
Ms. Wilson or any of the other witnesses?
Well, I want to be I want to be careful not to prejudice any existing investigation, but I do think the data breach at Equifax was a wake-up call about the patchwork of state laws that we have and the appropriateness of how consumers are informed and how they are impacted by it. So I'm very interested in working with all of you on data breach and data security issues, because it is only going to be more frequent. It does not just impact consumers and businesses. It impacts so many facets of our life, including our national security.
Do you think 5 weeks is too long?
Again, I don't want to prejudice any ongoing investigation, but as a general matter and not speaking about any specific situation, several weeks after a major breach of personal data does not sound like it is fast enough.
Mr. Phillips or Ms. Wilson?
Thank you, Senator. Like my colleagues, I understand that the FTC has announced that it is investigating that matter, so I don't want to speak specifically to it, lest what I say impact that investigation in any way. But obviously, that is a major issue, and I look forward to working with my colleagues, staff at the agency, and with you on what is appropriate.
Ms. Wilson?
I agree that this is a significant issue. I have spoken with my colleagues here at the table today. We recognize that the Federal Trade Commission is going to spend a great deal of time and energy investigating these issues and figuring out how best to serve the American consumer. And so I would join my colleagues in saying I don't want to prejudice an ongoing investigation, but I look forward to talking with staff, receiving briefing based on non-public information, if confirmed, and then talking with you further about additional authority or legislation that may be required.
Yeah, I guess I was hoping, I mean, I think the facts are well known because they've been in the press, and I'm pretty sure this committee had a hearing on it, so I'm pretty sure we're familiar with the fact that there was a patch, a software fix available, and yet it wasn't applied within the company, and now 145 million people's personal data has been, impacted. So I think the thing that we want to understand is what your personal views are on how important it is you think the FTC play an aggressive role here in filling the gap. If you're, as FTC members, are not thinking aggressively about this issue and what role we need to play in monitoring how to protect consumers on privacy, then that's of great concern to me, and I'm pretty sure it'll be of great concern to my constituents. I do have some questions about your current anti-manipulation authority as it relates to energy and oil markets, but I see my time is about to expire, Mr. Chairman, so I'll submit that for the record.